Joseph Louis Thomas, or better known as Joe, began his career as a songwriter, but has since then risen to be among the best R&B artists of all time. With 7 Grammy nominations and globally acclaimed albums, his albums have sold over 5 million copies worldwide. But after all this booming success, where is Joe now? What really happened to his career? Follow us as we take a deep dive into the rise and fall of Joe. Joe was born in Georgia on July 5th, 1973. Not much is known about his parents except that they were evangelist preachers. So naturally, Joe's childhood was spent almost entirely in the company of church members. He was an active member at the church from a very young age. During an interview, Joe recalled his childhood, saying that, "The church was my whole life, I did nothing else." And that's where he first made music. Young Joe joined the church choir as a guitarist. He was later made the director of the choir. In 1990, he moved to Alabama to attend Opelika High School. After his graduation, Joe continued to make music. In between a few temporary jobs, he always found the time to sing and write music. He continued to study music further through a local church in New Jersey. Joe found work at a local gospel record store. There, he met producer Vincent Herbert, who was very impressed with this young boy's skills. With Vincent, Joe recorded a 3-song demo tape. The tape was done to showcase Joe's songwriting skills, but it was his singing that caught attention. In 1992, Joe signed with Polygram Records, a Dutch major music record label and entertainment company founded in 1962 as the Gramophone Philips Group by German Siemens and Dutch Philips. Joe's exceptional writing skills soon became sought after by some of the most popular names in the age, including Tina Turner, Barry White, and Babyface. He was already famous, and the world had yet to find out about his singing skills. Joe was happy where he was. He had always been content with his life, and he was grateful for where he was in life. He earned $45,000 from the very first song he wrote. He never thought of himself to be an exceptionally talented person. Joe told Soul Culture website that he knew that there were others who could sing better than him. There were many others who were more skilled than him, but he noted that not everyone received the same opportunities. Joe admitted that he was extremely grateful for all the opportunities he got in life. The deal with Polygram Records proved to be rather beneficial. In 1993, his debut album, Everything, was released, produced in collaboration with Keith Milley, Jay Dibbs, and Dave Jam Hall. The album reached number 16 on the Billboard's top R&B/hip-hop albums. The album also featured 3 singles, which even made their way to the UK singles chart. 3 years later, Joe released a single to the soundtrack to the crime comedy film Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. The song, All the Things Your Man Won't Do, reached number 11 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The fame this brought got him a new contract with Jive Records. With them, he released his second album, All That I Am. The single was also included as the opening track. This album marked his breakthrough commercially, peaking number 13 on the US Billboard 200 and number 4 on the Billboard Top R&B/Hip-Hop Albums chart. After this immense success, Joe started to branch out into other industries. As a songwriter and producer, he also worked on albums for other artists and bands, including Changing Faces, Escape, The Temptations, High Five, and Case. He contributed to the remix of Big Punisher's Still Not a Player, produced by Nobody. Joe also sang a remix of Tina Turner's single, Something Beautiful Remains, from her album Wildest Dreams. With this experience, he took part in mixing songs himself and remixed a duet by Tina Turner and Barry White titled In Your Wildest Dreams. Mariah Carey asked Joe to contribute his vocals on her track, Thank God I Found You, for her album Rainbow, released in 1999. The track went on to become Joe's first number 1 single on the US Billboard Hot 100. Joe once again returned to his own music in 2000 and released his third album, My Name is Joe, in April. This was the peak of his career. The album featured several other record producers like Kevin, Shakespeare, Briggs, Teddy Riley, and Tim and Bob, and was an enormous success, and topped R&B and hip-hop charts around the world. The album produced 3 singles, 2 of which of them reached the top 5 of the US Billboard Hot 100. The album also earned a triple platinum rating in America and received platinum, gold, and silver certifications from Canada, France, and the UK. In addition to all of that, the album also received Grammy nominations for the Best R&B Album, while one of the singles received nominations for the Best Male R&B Vocal Performance. The next year, Joe released his 4th album, Better Days. This was not as successful as his previous album, but it did earn him a second Grammy nomination in the Best R&B category. Within that time, Joe also did another collaboration with Mariah Carey on the remix of her Through the Rain single in her album Charm Bracelet. In late 2003, Joe released his fifth album, And Then. The album featured a diverse array of many high-profile musicians like Carvin and Ivan, Dre and Vidal, R. Kelly and the Underdogs. The album topped a few charts, but was nowhere near the success of My Name is Joe. After all this time in the spotlight, Joe took a break from the public eye. According to Reuters, Joe spent the next 4 years trying his hand in the real estate business. He also started an upscale clothing line by the name of J. Thomas and introduced a new brand of tequila. Joe told Reuters that he wanted to branch out. He didn't want to limit his life to music, and there were many other ventures he could involve in. During this time, there were many upcoming artists in the genre, like Neo. Joe spoke to Reuters, saying that he was not afraid of the competition brought on by the younger artists. He said that he had no issues in letting the younger generations take over and do their own thing. But Joe wasn't entirely out of the spotlight just yet. In 2007, Joe released his sixth album, Ain't Nothing Like Me. The album was co-produced with Stargate, Tank, Cool and Dre, Brian Michael Cox, and Sean Garrett, and featured many popular rappers like Nas, Fabulous, Papoose, Young Buck, and Tony Yayo. Joe left Jive Records in 2008, and he went leaving behind some serious allegations. He revealed that R. Kelly tried to sabotage his career because Kelly believed that his own act was more important. During an interview with Vlad TV, Joe said that R. Kelly had tried to threaten radio stations to not play Joe's music. If they refused to comply, Kelly refused to perform at any radio events. Joe said to Vlad that he received some credible information from trusted parties that R. Kelly had acted against him. Luckily for Joe, he got wind of his fellow record label partner's sabotage, and it was a time when both men were at the height of their success. Despite the appalling acts, Joe never brought it up, and stated that he and Kelly remain on good terms. There was never any conflict between the two on account of what happened. Besides, Joe was in fact a huge fan of R. Kelly, because he doesn't even know how much I respect him as far as his music goes, Joe said. I think he's an incredible talent. Joe thought that Kelly simply felt threatened by him, and was just trying to protect his career, but needless to say, Kelly certainly went way beyond a friendly competition. His next album, Joe Thomas, New Man, was released independently in September 2008. The album was once more a massive hit, earning the 8th spot on the US Billboard 200 and selling over 56,000 copies in just the first week. Just 10 months later, he released another single, Signature. This album was different from the rest, as it solely contained ballads written, arranged and produced by Joe, but it was yet another hit. In 2010, Joe released his 9th studio album, The Good, The Bad, The Sexy, in the same year, and he collaborated with Keith Sweat on the song Test Drive for Sweat's new album, Riding Solo. Following this, Joe once more went on hiatus. Not much is known of his private life, so nobody really knew what he was doing once he disappeared. Moreover, Joe kept his relationships in the hush. As of yet, no official announcements have been made by Joe on his relationships. The world is left in much doubt as to how the crooning R&B singer manages his love life. According to VH1, Joe is single and ready to get married. Rumors suggest that he's in a relationship with the American TV and radio personality and model Roski Diaz. However, the couple has yet to publicly admit the relationship. Joe returned in 2013 with his 10th album, Double Decker, Evolution of R&B. The album got on the 6th spot of the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the R&B/hip-hop chart. It sold 31,500 copies in its first week. As a tribute to his top album, My Name is Joe, he released My Name is Joe Thomas in 2016. The album topped charts at number 2 on the top R&B/hip-hop albums chart, and Joe went on a European tour along with Ashatni in support of the new album. After years and years in the spotlight, Joe is now happy to take a backseat and watch the industry progress. What do you think of the rise of this R&B star? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.